I'm Ron DeLegge with ETFGuide.com. We're joined by Christian Magoon with YieldShares, ticker symbol YYY. That's the YieldShares High Income ETF. Check it out. Christian, great to catch up with you.
Thanks, Ron. Good to be here.
Let's talk about some of the breaking trends that you see happening in the ETF marketplace. What's on your radar?
Well, I've been watching these low volatility ETFs. They've been very hot the last year and a half. Some of the ETF sponsors have launched a variety of products and gathered a lot of assets, but they're starting to run out of steam. If you look at some of their sector allocations to areas like utilities in particular, really aren't performing that well. So one trend I think is we're going to see a little bit unwinding of some of these low volatility ETF assets that have just poured in over the last few years.
What's interesting to me about the volatility ETFs is they were launched just as volatility has been bottoming. You take a look at the VIX, we've been hitting like all-time lows, so they really haven't been tested in terms of volatility in high volatility markets.
Yeah, I think that always seems to happen, unfortunately, when products are introduced. They're introduced when people probably are most apt to buy them, but a lot of times the horse has already left the barn on those strategies. So, I hope for investors that the strategies continue to perform, but you're right, it may be time to buy volatility, not buy low volatility.
Now ETFs are becoming more of a mainstream investment. Investors are aware of them. They're all over the place. Advisors adopting ETFs in their practice, how are they, what are advisors doing in terms of implementing ETF strategies in their practices?
Well, there's core users who definitely have migrated to being able to invest in ETFs, know and understand how to trade them, understand the different tax structures, etc. But really the big growth area, I think, is ETF model portfolios. The only thing that's growing faster than ETF assets is actually ETF model portfolios, almost double what ETF assets are growing. And those are simply models that advisors who are very sophisticated and understand the ins and outs not only of asset allocation but ETFs, they put those models out there for advisors to use. And for many advisors who aren't as savvy about maybe the asset class or the asset allocation or maybe even trading the ETFs, this is a great form of convenience for them. So ETF model portfolios, I think, are kind of the big trend in the advisory community.
One last question before you take off, Christian. What about ETFs in retirement plans like 401ks? Is that a big area of potential growth?
It's a very big area of potential growth. And when you take a look at mutual funds and where they receive a lot of their inflows and the consistency of inflows, it's in the 401k space. So if ETFs are able to get into that mutual fund piping that really is the 401k area, I think ETFs could get bigger than ever. And when I talk to people about ETFs, they often say, oh yeah, ETFs, I EFT my paycheck every 2 weeks. They still don't understand what ETFs are, but they know what 401ks are and they know what mutual funds are, and I think it's because of that retirement component. ETFs need to be there, and it's a big opportunity.
Well, we look forward to checking back with you soon and an update on some of these trends. Again, you just heard from Christian Magoon with YieldShares, the YieldShares High Income ETF, ticker symbol YYY. I'm Ron DeLegge with ETF Guide. Thanks for joining us.